Get started.
Yeah, sorry, I was trying to talk to DA and do this at the same time. Hey, James, just how difficult was last week? Yeah, y'all have been down 2 tackles before, but now you were down Jordan and James, Carpenter, and a bunch of other guys that probably made the game plan a little difficult there.
Yeah, it was tough. It was a very unique situation. It seemed like every day I had a few guys here, a few guys there, test positive and missed the game. So it made it tough. It was very fluid, very day-to-day situation. Just, get on the same page and, trying to communicate and trying to figure out who's going to be where, how they fit into the game plan. So there's a lot of moving parts. It was, it was what it was. Hopefully don't have that situation again.
James, some of what Miami did, sort of disguising who was rushing, putting 8 on the line and then rushing 4, but not knowing which 4 were coming, was that similar to what Carolina had done in that second game of the year? They seemed to do some of that, and obviously is that sort of part of the preparation this week, is sort of figuring out how to figure that out?
Yeah, there's definitely some similarities. Miami they do a pretty unique kind of pressure package, and we had seen some of that on film for sure. I think we should have done a better job picking it up at times. I think we had a good plan, and there were some miscommunications, some poor execution. So just a few mishaps for sure picking that up, and then obviously week 2 against Carolina, the last time they definitely hit us hard on some pressures and got some free runners, things we know that, we have to correct, and, we're working hard to do that. So there are definitely some similarities. I think just the pressure in general kind of got through a few too many times, and we're trying to correct it and prepare for Carolina, who does some different things as well. So just, understanding what they're going to bring and what our rules are and who's responsible for what, and making sure that we're on top of that to keep our quarterback upright and to, give him time to throw to who he needs to throw to.
Can we just?
Yeah, in keeping your quarterback upright, 8 sacks last week. Just what was it like watching the film of those and some of the other things that happened last week?
Yeah, unfortunately, it was watching it was exactly kind of what it felt like, while it was happening. It was bad. It was not up to our standard. We definitely have a standard here, and we have high expectations for ourselves, particularly as an offensive line, of keeping the quarterback safe, giving him plenty of time to go through his progressions, and we failed to do that, several times in the game Monday night. So that was unfortunate. That's definitely a challenge for us this week. We got some practices here. There are definitely things that we've got to correct, as a unit and also individually, just making sure our technique's solid. So it's a direct challenge to us. You're not going to win many games playing the way that we did as an offensive line, and we know that. So we're going to step up and do a better job this week.
Rob Walker.
Hey James, I know it's obviously tough with just having so many inexperienced guys, but on top of that, how tough was it just you all had to practice virtually? I mean, for an offensive line, how important is actual on the field work as opposed to trying to practice, talk about things over, virtually?
Yeah, it's very tough. It's not ideal at all. I think our coaches did as good a job as they could have under the circumstances of making sure guys were safe and making sure that, we were ready to roll. And I think at the end of the day, as players, we just take it on our shoulders. We were doing, what we could, walking through, practicing, getting in as much as we possibly could get in while being safe. So that was a tough situation. And, we just got to learn from it. We got to know, hey, if we can't get a practice, well, we got to make sure we're, watching film, over communicating while we're out there, and, trying to do those things to kind of help solve some of those problems that we had, just losing practices and losing reps throughout the week.
Yeah, James, do the communication problems just naturally work themselves out when you get guys back? I mean, I'm guessing a big part of the communication issue is the fact that you got a whole bunch of guys on the line that haven't played together, right?
Yeah, that's definitely part of it. The more moving pieces, the more you have to communicate. And that's something that we could have done a better job of, I think, during the game, is communicating with the guy next to you and making sure, hey, we're all on the same page, particularly against that opponent that brought a kind of variety of pressures and, really hurt us with it. I think that we've got to understand, hey, if I haven't played next to this guy, or if, I've got limited reps next to this guy, we've got to over communicate and make sure that we're on the same page. Because if, you don't know who you're blocking, the play's not going to be successful. Usually in the NFL, the hard part isn't knowing who to block, but it's actually blocking that guy across from you. So, yeah, we just got to do better. We got to understand the situation that we're in. We got to understand who's available, who's going to be playing, and just making sure that, you and the guy next to you or the guys next to you are on the same page.
Luke Johnson.
Hey, James, I don't know if you could put your finger on anything here, but if not, how frustrating has it been this year to have 6 games at home and I think only 1 win in those games? How important is that for y'all in the building? Yeah,
that's tough. It's tough for our fans. We want them to come out and support us and be loud, and we got to make sure we're giving them reasons to do that. Definitely a few home games have been massive disappointments for us. I think, trying to put a finger on something, it's been tough. We've lost, those games in kind of a lot of different ways, if that makes sense. So it's hard to necessarily say that there's, one reason for losing those games at home. But yeah, it's super frustrating. Home field is an advantage, particularly for us playing in the Superdome. So yeah, obviously we're super excited to play at home, and we gotta do better. We gotta step up to the challenge and give our fans something to cheer about.
And last one, maybe Justin.
Yeah, before the season started, the offensive line was, definitely considered one of the strengths, with 2 All-Pro tackles. Andrews Pete's been to a number of Pro Bowls, and 2 young guys coming up. Have you been a part of anything quite like this, where you lose just so many guys like this? And who knows what the status is of any of those guys are moving forward, right? So.
Yeah, definitely haven't been any part of anything quite like this. I think that's just the unique circumstance that we're in. But not only us, it's happening across the league. It's happening across the nation, outside of sports. There's so many things in life that have just been day-to-day, been changing so constantly and so fluid. So, like I said earlier, hopefully we don't have to deal with that anymore. Hopefully we've kind of seen the worst of it, if you will. And hopefully we're, staying as safe as we possibly can. But it's just a matter of, rising to the challenge. And it is a challenge for sure, getting new guys in there that, maybe haven't played a lot of football, but also maybe haven't played next to a few guys. So that's a big challenge. And I think we can do a better job than we did last week, for sure, about answering that call. And I think we're looking forward to getting back out there on Sunday so we can put a better product out there.
Okay, great. Thanks for your time, James.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks a lot, James.
Yep, absolutely. Thanks, James.
Any questions from the captain, TJ? Rob Walker?
Oh, can you hear me? Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, PJ, you kind of become like the Taysom Hill of the defense, man. What's it just sort of been like, just having to do all this flipping around, and how much has that helped you? Well, go ahead and answer that part first. I'll come back.
Yeah, man, it's good, man. I like it, man. It's helped me just understand more about football, more about the defense, but just playing safety and then getting more reps and just being able to play a whole game, that helps out as well. I just feel like I'm getting better and better the more I play. So just being able to play a whole game, that helps a lot for me, just to understand and get a feel for the game.
PJ, was that something that you embraced straight away, like playing safety, or was that something that took a little bit of time because like you identified as a cornerback for so long? Like how was that transition for you, just kind of mentally, like coming into that?
Yeah, I feel like I embraced it. They knew pretty much I'm fine playing anywhere, and they trusted me just to move to safety, just really at short notice. And then also last year, with COVID and stuff, like it was a lot of moving pieces. So they know they trust me to pretty much play everywhere. So, but I for sure embrace it, and I feel like it's a position that I can be real good at and continue my career with it. So I definitely embraced it.
Luke Johnson?
Hey, PJ, how have the guys on the team kind of treated y'all's record at home this year? Y'all usually play so well at home, and the record just kind of hasn't been there this year.
I'm not sure. I don't feel like we talk about it as much. We expect to win every week, so it's definitely tough not winning, especially at home, because with the crowd as well. So, but I just feel like, what I'm saying, we moving forward. We're gonna make sure we do what we got to do to get the win this week.
Has it been odd though? Just because that is a place that y'all kind of traditionally play so well with, all the advantages.
It's odd just losing, period. I feel like wherever, it's just, we're not used to losing, so I just feel like losing, period.
Amy Gus?
Yeah, back to your position switch. You and I talked like the first game, like after the first game, you'd played safety since like high school. Feels like a million years ago now.
Right.
How do you feel that things have changed for you since then, and how you've kind of come into your own and embracing this new spot?
I just feel just really understanding the game, like, because when I first moved to safety, I was just back there just playing, like not reading anything, just making sure nothing get deep and running up, making tackles. So just understanding the game a lot more, knowing how to read the quarterback, because I came from just playing cornerback, looking at the man or looking at a couple things, reading a couple things, but just learning how to read the quarterback, learning how to read pulling guards and linemen and stuff and fits and stuff like that. So it was a lot of little stuff that goes in it, and I'm still learning. So just really understanding the game a lot more.
At the beginning of the 2019 season, could you have envisioned this for yourself?
Nah, not at all. I didn't expect it at all. And it was, when it happened, I didn't expect it, because it was just like, a lot of people was down, and you may have a chance if somebody get hurt, and you never really expect nobody to get hurt, and it's just like right at that moment, I'm at safety, so it's like, and then it was just saying, yeah, man, this could be good for you, and then so I embraced it.
Rob Walker?
Hey, PJ, have you had a chance to really just kind of reflect on your career, going back to the beginning, you dealt with some injuries and all that, and you look at it now, do you feel like you're playing your best ball now, and just kind of put it all in perspective, I guess? Yeah,
definitely. I feel like I'm definitely playing some of my best football, and I just feel like getting better, getting more opportunities, and just learning, because, playing different positions, that helps a whole lot, just understanding football, period. So I definitely feel like I'm at the top of my game right now, man. I had some good years. I feel like I had a lot of good moments, but I feel like right now it's definitely coming together for me.
And Go ahead, Brett.
Markel?
Yeah, thanks. Hey, PJ. Just wondering what you thought, maybe even just as a fan of the game, of the Panthers' decision to change quarterbacks from Cam Newton back to Sam Darnold this week. And of course, you guys played him the first time. And how would you say their offense has evolved over the season?
Yeah, I feel like they haven't been winning, so you can understand the quarterback change, and also he beat us last time, so they might think, oh, he the better chance to beat us. So, but also their offense, I feel like they've been doing a lot of quarterback runs, and that changed the game a whole lot because you got everybody accounted for, and then pulling guards and the free safety got to get involved in the run game, and pretty much to get extra numbers in the run game. But with Sam, I feel like he throws the ball down the field a lot. It's more traditional with him. So, but they definitely got a pretty good offense for sure.
PJ, I'm sure you saw some of the commentary recently. Just kind of what do you say to people that criticize your tackling technique and the intent behind your tackling technique?
Man, I try not to really indulge in it, but hey, it's part of the game, man. You never want to see anybody get hurt, but it's part of the game, man. You can't really hit people high anymore without getting flags or fines and stuff like that. So, man, I feel like that's one of the best ways to get them down without hurting them or without hurting your team. So.
Walker?
PJ, I was going to sort of ask you the same thing, but have you ever had a chance? Did you reach out to Chris, or I know football's a kind of a brother?
Nah.
Just reach out to him. Or?
Yeah, nah, I didn't talk to him. We got the same agent, so I talked to my agent, man, and just he know it wasn't on purpose. I feel like he talked to him. He said he don't think it was a dirty hit. So, yeah, that's really it.
PJ, is tackling almost become like a no-win situation with the way the rules are? I mean, you just kind of got to do what you're allowed to do.
Yeah, I'm sure for offense or whoever looks at it like that, yeah, it's like, but I've been hitting the same way since I got in the league, and I haven't got any like problems or people saying I'm a dirty player or anything like that, like until one of their favorite players get hurt. So I feel like that's when it happens.
Last one for maybe Justin.
That was verbatim my question. So just it feels like there's no winning. You go high, you hurt somebody. You go low, you hurt somebody.
Right.
But in the moment, like, can you even think about that? Because the game's moving so fast.
Yeah, nah, it's just a reaction, because that's all defense is, reacting. So it's like even when this game, like when Tua was coming, it's like, oh, I ain't thinking to go low or high right now. It's a reaction. So like it could go either way.
All right, well said. Thanks so much for the time, PJ.
No problem.
Can you go mute real quick?
You good? No? Oh, I am muted.
Oh, good. There you go. All right, we can go ahead and get us started.
Hey Taysom, welcome back. Can you describe what last week was like for you, especially just, I mean, I'm assuming you sat at home and watched the game?
Yeah, thanks for the welcome back. It's certainly good to be back. Yeah, I watched the game at the house. Man, I was talking to my wife during the game that this has been so abnormal for me in the NFL. This was the fifth game that I missed this season and not able to play, and so it was a tough deal. When you want to be available, you want to help your team and all those things, and you're stuck at the house watching the game. So it's nice to be back, and excited for these next few weeks.
How
you doing, Taysom? Taysom, you've talked, I guess, several times about patience and perseverance this season. How far has yours been stretched?
Yeah, it's been a challenging year for a lot of reasons. For me personally, and now you fast forward to the end of the season, and like we talked about last week, I'm fully aware of the situation and where we're at in the playoff picture and all that stuff. So you get to a point where you compete from July till now to have an opportunity to get to postseason play, and then you have to deal with more things. So it's just one of the things that we've had to deal with this season, and we're still right in the middle of it, and we're gonna control what we can control. That's kind of been the vibe of this season, and what we've had to live by, and I think we've been able to persevere through it pretty well to where we're still in the hunt to get to postseason.
Do you kind of personally feel like there's almost nothing else that can happen to you?
I'm never going to say that. And look, you guys know my history. Football is just a game that you can't take for granted, because you never know when it'll be your last, and whatever. And that lesson was taught to me several times in college. So I'm fully aware that it's a brutal league on many accounts, from an injury standpoint, from a business standpoint, like you name it. And it's a challenging league to make it in and stick around. And so I think you have to have that mindset, to take advantage of every opportunity you can and control what you can control, because if you don't, it's a brutal league.
Yeah, what was last week like for you? Just with all the moving pieces, with Trevor going on the list first and you testing positive the next day, did you feel okay? Like, what was the process there?
So Wednesday I felt fine. Went in practice, and Trevor obviously tested positive Wednesday. And Trevor came into the facility, he got tested, it was negative. But I had talked to him before we went to practice, and he told me, like, hey, I went and tested, I was negative, but these were the symptoms that I was feeling. And then he progressively got worse through practice, and so they tested him again, sent him home, and he was positive. So I woke up Thursday morning feeling the same way that Trevor described to me Wednesday morning. And so I obviously didn't want to expose my teammates to what I had, and came in and I got tested, and it was obviously positive.
Taysom, you play such a physical brand of football. Is there any value at this point in the season? Is there any silver lining of getting a week off? Like, do you physically feel a little better than maybe you would, if you had continued to play every day?
Yeah, I think I would have said the answer was yes in some weeks. There's some weeks that you get a little, banged up over the others, and I think by week 17, everyone's dealing with something, but I would say that for me physically, like my body has gotten to a place where I'm used to the bumps and the bruises and the banging and, you know, what's asked of me on game day that, you know, honestly, I felt fine. You know, the issues that I'm dealing with between my finger and my foot and stuff, those are just issues that I'll have to deal with the rest of the season. So physically, I felt fine last week, and I wouldn't say that there's any noticeable difference from last week to this week. But that's not always the case. You know, most of the time, maybe a week off like that would do you some good. But physically, I was feeling pretty good last week.
What did happen?
You said you watched it at home. Obviously, we know what the team is dealing with. How hard was it to watch Ian, knowing that you formed a relationship with him and you've helped mentor him, and to see, you know, what he had to go through and deal with the adversity he did in his first ever NFL start on national TV?
Yeah, I mean, there was a range of emotions, right, where I was disappointed that I wasn't able to play, but, you know, my disappointment of not being able to play was some excitement for Ian. And look, I dialed in on every Zoom call. I was a part of every meeting that we had last week from home. And then I had multiple conversations with Ian over the phone to support him, and I was excited for him. Ian's been a great rookie. He's been fun to have around. He came in here with the right mindset, you know, wanting and willing to learn and work hard and, you know, all those things. So when this happened and he was getting this opportunity, I was excited for him. And so I think the thing that was most disappointing to your question was that I wasn't able to be there on the sideline for him. I wasn't able to be there to talk him through different things, to talk to him about, you know, what they were doing. Here's, you know, whatever, you know, that conversation would have been on the sideline. And I think that there's a comfort level, you know, from training camp till now. We've been together for a long time, and I was disappointed that I wasn't there for him that way.
Awesome.
Sorry, did you call my name?
I did. Did you have a question?
Okay, yeah, I did. I'm sorry about that. I didn't hear. Hey, Taysom, just I'm sorry to keep asking you about last week, but you know, you guys were on a little bit of a roll and won 2 games before all that started, and you know, last week kind of disrupted everything. How do you kind of try to carry what you had, that positive momentum you had going into this week now that you're getting some guys back?
I think the mindset is always the same. You know, I came in here this morning fired up and excited and ready for the next challenge, the next opportunity on Sunday. So, look, last week happened and we lost a tough game, but I think in the grand scheme of things, we're still in a good situation. Now it's not ideal because we obviously need some help, but I think my mindset for me personally, and you know where we're at, is we're going to continue to get better and better and get healthy and get guys back and keep this thing rolling. So what happened last Monday night, I guess, isn't going to derail our mindset and our expectations of ourselves.
Carol?
Hey Jason, did you and your teammates have any reaction to the COVID protocols changing for the second time after it maybe could have helped y'all?
No, I mean we didn't really say much about it. You know, as you mentioned, I think it obviously would have been nice if that would have been in place before the game Monday night, but so many of these things are out of our control, and we're aware of that, and we'll just continue to control what we can control. And you know, I feel pretty good, fortunately, and excited to be able to be at practice today and the rest of the week and having the chance to get ready for this game.
Ron Walker?
Hey Taysom, I actually changed my question up here, but we just got notification that Eric McCoy's on COVID list now, which means I guess now all of a sudden you're having to work with a new center. But what type of adjustment is that for you, and how tough is that just to do on, you know, such a short notice?
Yeah.
This late in the season.
Yeah, I mean, look, we ask a lot of our centers here, and Eric's been an anchor for us. I know he had that injury early in the year, but this last half of the season and stuff, he's been an anchor for us up front, and he'll definitely be missed. I think with that being said, I think from an organization standpoint, they've done a great job of preparing these other guys, and Will Clapp stepped in and took quite a few reps under center today, or at center today, and I thought he did a really good job. And as I look at Will, I've had a lot of reps with Will. My comfort level with him is really high, so I'm fine with that. I think he's super capable. Now there's still a learning curve for both he and I as we adjust to getting more reps together, but I don't see it being an issue.
Two more, we'll go to Amy just first and end it with Luke Johnson.
Yeah, on that note, and kind of echoing off of something you said earlier, like, obviously you can't control any of this stuff, but is it still frustrating to know that even now, after all of last week, you still don't know, like, who you're going to be playing with later this week? Because everything can change.
I mean, look, this whole situation is not an ideal situation, but I think the overall health of our guys, our locker, our staff, all of those things takes precedence. And I think the bigger issue is you don't want to, you don't want to take the risk of exposing other people. We all have family that we love, and so I think it's just another one of those things that it is what it is. I think the organization has handled the situation really well. I think everyone's been very responsible, and we'll just continue to handle with it as it comes. And that doesn't mean that it's not an ideal situation as you get ready for a game, knowing that people might go down, but we got to make the most of it.
And last one from Luke Johnson.
This might not even be a fair question, but just considering how good you guys have been at home in your time here in New Orleans, is there like a sense of you guys missed out on something this year, just kind of having the poor record at home as it is?
I think as you get ready for a season, as you start to talk about team goals, and expectations and stuff, having a good home record is always one of them. You got to win at home, and so I think that that's been a little frustrating for us as a team, that we haven't played better at home. But I would say that we're not looking back. We're not dwelling on the past. We're not worried about who's gonna pop next, or whatever happens is going to happen. But as I mentioned earlier, we've got a one-track mind, and that's winning this football game on Sunday, and then winning the next one, and then see what happens from there. I think, and that starts Sunday. Our fan base is one of the best in the country, and I know that they'll show up, and we'll take every little advantage and all the help that we can get, and hopefully get this home game.
All right,
thanks guys.
Go ahead and get started.
Hey, Kwon. Congratulations on being the Saints Ed Block Courage Award winner. I guess, how did you find out? What does that mean to you that your teammates wanted to recognize you for the work that you put in to get back from your Achilles injury?
I found out like a couple of days ago. Actually, I found out, and I'm just appreciative of the award. Thank God for it. I've been working hard my whole life just to grind and just trying to get to it. And, it's paying off. And, I just thank my teammates, my coaches, and everybody for voting for me to get the award.
Johnson.
Hey, Kwon, did I see correctly that you taped a hype video from your house for this past week's game?
Oh yeah, I did it from the crib. Yeah, yeah, I was lit in there, man. I was ready to play, man. I had to show some kind of energy, I was trying to get out my teammates and everybody worked up and get them going for the game last Monday.
How weird was that experience, man? I mean, because you landed you tested positive on Sunday,
mm-hmm.
and then you go from being ready to play to going on the list with everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
How strange it was last week.
Oh man, it was just crazy, but you know how things go, man. You just gonna have to. I had to sit out, so I was just watching the game from the crib, just cheering everybody on, just watching the game. Me and DeMario was keeping in contact. Just seeing what the young guys was doing, and they were doing their thing. So everything paid off, and I'm just ready to get ready for this week and play this week.
Me, Gus?
Yeah, about that. You feeling okay? Did you feel sick when you tested positive? How did that kind of happen for you?
I think at the beginning I was kind of had a little headache and some chills, but I was fine. A couple of days I was back normal already. I had a lot of energy. It didn't hit me that bad, but I don't know how it hit everybody else, but I was fine.
Two things. One, is the red hair gone? Am I seeing it right?
Nah, it's here. Red hair still here. Still. It's just tucked back.
Then just second thing, just on the young guys, how do you feel like Pete Werner played with you and DeMario out?
Oh man, those guys played with a lot of energy, a lot of passion. You can see it, they was running around hitting. They work for it though. In practice, you see it in practice. They know what to do. They know how to handle themselves, and they went out there and showed that.
Luke Johnson.
Hey, Kwon, just considering you guys had kind of turned things around a little bit and had 2 straight wins before last week, and then your last week was what it was.
Mm-hmm.
How do you guys just kind of recapture what you had going, and just knowing how important these last 2 weeks are to y'all making the playoffs?
Man, we get right back on track, man. We trying to get right back on track. We went to practice today, worked hard. Communication was legendary. Everybody was on top of it, like we didn't miss a step. So we just gonna keep going and go to practice tomorrow, keep working until Sunday, and to get the dub.
Yeah, hey, Kwon. How would you expect Carolina's offense to change with their quarterback shift? How would you expect them to be different with Sam Darnold than with Cam Newton? I know that seems pretty obvious, but how would you expect them to be different with the quarterback change?
With both of them, they do 2 different things. Cam like to run a little bit more. They do a lot of pulling with Cam and all those. And Sam, he'll throw the ball a lot more. So, we just trying to we working on both of them. We don't know what's gonna happen. So we just trying to get both of them down pat, and we're gonna do that.
Last one from Luke Johnson.
Hey, Kwon, I know y'all won a ton of games at home in recent years, but this year it hasn't really been the case. What do you think is kind of behind that, and how do you guys feel about it? Just knowing that y'all are typically a very good home football team, just not kind of getting it done this year.
We got to win at home, man. That's the thing. We got to win at home. We got to take care of home. This is our stomping ground. So we gotta make sure we get dubs here. We got to find a way. Something back then I can't talk about the past. Now I'm more worried about the future. You know what I'm saying? So we just trying to find wins, man. We're gonna work hard. We're gonna keep pushing, and we're gonna get a win this week at home for the last one.
All right, well said. Thanks for your time, Kwon.
All right, y'all have a legendary night.
Time remaining is 4.